The opportunity to, again, have a perspective, and I think more from a European perspective, I think is critically important. There are lots of shows, but there are only a couple that resonate with our clients in terms of cutting across multiple verticals. CES being, of course, the grandfather of that with somewhere around 150,000 people, but my understanding is there'll be 30,000 plus people here at DMEXCO in these few days, which is quite a big statement. And again, you've got technology, you've got marketing, you've got not so much entertainment represented here, but I think that will change. But when you bring together marketing and advertising and the technology that unites and drives those two businesses, I think it's worthy of a conference, and I think DMEXCO is actually pretty important in the landscape.
Your clients, your client roster sort of with whom you're engaged is typically in the C-suite. You have big and small, you just straddle the chasm. Tell me what's keeping kind of the CEOs of your startups and the CEOs of your global, companies up at night right now.
We used to say, about a year and a half ago, we used to say the CMOs were waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and they were wondering whether or not they really needed to pay attention to the social media phenomena, the Facebooks and the Twitters and all of that. Well, they certainly know now that they do. And I think the CEOs are staying up at night because they are watching a mashup occur, and they need to make sure that the mashup is resourced in the right way. And that mashup, and I think you see it here, and it's what I was alluding to a moment ago, is the amount of marketing decisions that today are being made and influenced by CIO and CTO, and conversely, the amount of technology decisions that are being lorded over by CMOs creates an interesting dilemma for companies, because you've got three people you need in those conversations now: CIO, CMO, and let's not forget the procurement folks who are so interested in measurement. But as big data, little data, whatever size the data is, it's changing the landscape so much. So I think CEOs, other than the obvious things they are concerned about, driving revenue and efficiency and bottom line if they're public and if they're private, I think it's that intersection, that sort of inflection point in technology and marketing coming together and changing the way we do things.
So you mentioned sort of an interesting bench there of individuals that typically have a very different lens and filter with which they look at business. Do you think they all are speaking the same language right now? I mean, at the construct of culture, right, and language in a literal term, but then when we talk about the lens of the business stakeholders that actually have to forge new markets, are they able to talk to one another?
They're getting better at it. At the Consumer Electronics Show, I interviewed Mark Benioff, the chairman, CEO, and founder of Salesforce, sort of as I introduced him, then the man behind the cloud. And there's an example of a company that's invested close to $3.5 billion in creating the marketing cloud. And one of the things that we've been tasked with helping Salesforce do, and I'm proud to say this, is to re-educate and reanimate their Salesforce to do exactly what you just said. They've historically built that company on selling to the C-suite, but the CIO and CTO. And now, to what I said earlier, they have to understand in the marketing cloud context how to sell to the CMO or how to partner with the CMO. I don't want to put it all in terms of sales. As I said to them, a bit tongue-in-cheek, so all this time you've been pitching to the guy with the pocket protector. Now you need to pitch to the guy with the pocket square. And I think that hopefully makes the point. Yeah, exactly. I've told that to Quentin because he's one of my friends with a pocket square. But truly, I think it is that need to speak the same language.